Aloha! Hey, it's Julie Zimos, 365 Hawaii with Real, and we have a special opportunity for you guys to meet one of our new team members today. We're going to be having Kealohanui Browning from Real in Hilo, being able to transition to take over the East Hawaii statistics and information and trends around East Hawaii. And Amber Haley, Real, is going to be working with us in our newly created 365 Hawaii luxury division here in West Hawaii. So on this show, we're going to basically be having Amber do what she normally does with some of the statistics. And what Nui's going to do is she's going to bring you guys some new insights into the market, which we're now going to be incorporating into this show. And I'm also going to let her tell you a little bit about herself, because she's pretty awesome, and she also is in leadership with the Association of Realtors in Hawaii. So give us a little bit of background on who you are.
Like she said, I'm Kealohanui. Most people call me Nui, or you can call me Kealoha, whatever you would like to call me.
Call me for real estate.
Yeah. Yes. I am the president-elect for the East Hawaii Board, HIR. What else would you like me to say?
How long have you been in real estate?
Oh, thank you. I have been in real estate for going on 14 years now. I was initially licensed in Florida, and I went to college there. I grew up on Hawaii Island, but I went to University of Florida, got my real estate license, did real estate there for 6 years, and been back home for about 8.
There you go. And then you are working with the family team.
Yes, I work with Team Nakanishi. My mom started the team. Her name is Denise Nakanishi, and there are 4 sales agents on our team.
There you go. And they hit all the areas of East Hawaii, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we're also going to be working on in this experience too is we want to bring in obviously a new fresh voice, because you live in East Hawaii. What part of East Hawaii do you live in?
Right smack in the middle of Hilo.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So Amber has lived in near the HPP area, and now we have a Hilo voice about what's it like to live there. So as we go through these monthly updates, I'm going to be picking her brain a little bit about like the cool things that you like to do in Hilo, and about the things that make Hilo special. And we've always been talking about how cool HPP is, so it's a different voice. But I'm excited to have you part of our team, because having another person who's in leadership for real estate gives us an opportunity to find out things that East Hawaii people need to know about the whole industry, about how it's affecting home ownership, things that you are going to hopefully bring a little bit more than just statistics. Yeah?
Yeah, and she's from Hawaii Island.
And she's from Hawaii Island, which, having the, that concept of what we're, bringing is I call it the native voice. Like some of the issues that people need to deal with. When they move here, what do they need to do? They need to bring their aloha and all the things that you can bring in.
Definitely bring the aloha.
Yeah.
If not,
don't come.
It's gonna spray right back out. Yeah.
So that way you guys will get a chance to listen a little bit of that too. So thank you for joining the team. We're excited.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we're gonna go to what we normally talk about a little bit with statistics first. With Amber's gonna give her last East Hawaii update.
Yes.
But tell us what's going on in East Hawaii.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little snapshot of the market, and we're going to focus on the 2 districts we always focus on. So that's the South Hilo district and the Puna district, where most of the transactions on the east side take place. So today, in honor of Puna, that will always have a piece of my heart, we'll start with Puna, the Puna district. The Puna district is south of the South Hilo district, not to be confusing to everyone. So if you're watching at home, you don't have a lot of context. So if you go south of Hilo, you'll get to Puna. It is what I like to call I believe like the last frontier of affordable real estate in the state of Hawaii. But it also has, risky lava zones there too. So we do see quite a range in pricing. But let's talk about the median sales price for our last full month of sales. So in the Puna district, there were 56 single-family homes that closed last month, so February. And the median price of those 56 homes was $369,000. which is pretty unbelievable if you're shopping in Kona, which is where we're sitting right now. But over on the other side of the island, $369,000 median price in Puna, and that is actually down from our last market update a month ago when we had this conversation. It was $385,000, so down a little bit, and up though from a year ago when we were sitting here, where it was $349,000. So that's what the median price is doing. But a very, very important stat that we talk about is days on market.
Right.
So those homes sat for an average days on market of 71, which is, you know, on the higher end.
Yeah. What was it
last month it was 63.
Okay, so they're going up.
Yeah, and then a year ago it was only 44.
No.
So that's like significantly different because if you watch a lot of our market updates, as you know, the longer a house sits on the market, you know, that really affects
the price.
It affects price. So 71 days on market is what we're looking at. Now, if we're looking at what, I know everybody wants to know, like, how much do I need to offer on that house?
This is our favorite stat.
Yeah, so our favorite stat, and it is, like, specific to the property what you should actually offer, but if we're looking at the final list to sales price on average for the Puna district, this last month it was 95%. Was the final sales price compared to the list price. So 5% below.
5%.
5% sale on average if we're being cheeky about it. But yeah, so that is the Puna district. Days on market was almost the same as oh, I'm sorry. I already said days on market. I'm on repeat here. But okay, so 95 list to sales price. That is a little bit lower than last month where it was 96 list to sales price.
Okay.
And then 96 about a year ago.
I just want to add in that if things are priced correctly, they are selling like
within days.
hotcakes. And
Yeah.
I just encountered I just had a offer get accepted. There were 5 offers on this property in Lava Zone 2.
Ooh.
And it was maybe 10 days on the market, I want to say, because they were trying to field all of the showings and the questions and all of that. And then there were 5 offers that came in. And I just want to point out that in Lava Zone 2, if you're getting financing, you have to get insurance. And you've probably talked about this a lot.
The insurance
before.
crisis part of it. Yeah,
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. Yeah.
And that, as I said, it sometimes negates the affordability of a house
Yes.
because you have to pay so much money to be able to insure the house, right?
The quote for that house is it's a $450,000 house. The quote is $6,500 for the year, so it's basically a car payment.
Yeah.
And you can't hit or miss whether you can have any unpermitted additions to that house if they're going to insure it and then approve your loan. So
yeah, homeowners insurance, it's a big thing, like, across the entire country right now. It's like a conversation we need to have more and more about homeowners insurance, but East Hawaii, like, extremely.
Yeah.
Because of all those factors.
Right, so when we talk to people about affordability and about the true cost of home ownership, we say, please call your insurance company before you think you're going to put an offer in, because you might be surprised during escrow how much it costs to buy insurance for your house. Yep. So,
yeah, absolutely. And then the other major thing about the Puna district, too, is we have the Lava Zone. So your median price is going to be extremely different in different neighborhoods in different parts of the Puna district based on the Lava Zone. So Nui will talk a little bit more about some of the neighborhood stuff, and maybe you can talk a little bit more about, like, how the Lava Zones affect it.
And we are having an eruption right now, actually.
We are having an eruption.
We went last night.
what episode is this? Sorry,
12.
Okay.
Episode 12 of this eruption. Yeah, I heard it was like 600 feet.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then while we were there, one of the other side vent went down. And so it was only, so we thought we almost watched it completely go extinguish within like a day.
Whoa.
But it's poking up this morning a little bit. Do you have somebody who has a question?
No, I just spotty service.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're sorry for having spotty service over in Facebook land. Okay.
Okay.
So what's
all
up?
right. So now let's move over to the South Hilo district.
Okay.
And in South Hilo, so there's less transactions that happen in South Hilo. We talk about that a lot than in the Puna district. So for the last complete month of single-family home sales, there were 12 units that closed last month. And the median sales price of those homes was $647,500. And that is up from our last market update where it was $627,000. And it is also up from a year ago where it was $580,000 for the median price. So up in Hilo, but again, just 12 single family homes. So it is a snapshot. So always keep that in mind. And average days on market for South Hilo were 72. So
they're
one day more than Puna.
Yeah, so it's taking a while to sell houses in general over there, unless it's priced correctly.
Yes, yeah. Like we can't emphasize enough. Like all of these stats that we give you, it is not the case for every single home. You know, it's going to be case by case on homes, like the different situations, which is why you want to pair with a realtor who knows all these things.
Right.
Okay, so 72 days on the market. If we look back at our last market update, it was 80 days on the market on average for the homes that closed.
Okay.
So less than last month, and a year ago it was 45.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Both markets were moving quicker last year than they are this year.
Yes, they were.
Okay.
They definitely were. And then if we want to look at our final list of sales price, it was very similar to the Puna district. It was 94.5%, which is up from last month where it was 89.
Yeah, they were kind of doing this for a while, and now
Yeah.
they're getting more like
Yeah.
online together. Okay.
Sometimes the stats in Puna and Hilo are
Yeah.
the
Well,
opposite.
again, it's like you could $1 million house would throw off a $250,000 house every day. But okay, and then we're going to ask you this question too. In terms of the phone calls you're getting and showings and everything else, how do you think the market's behaving right now in those two markets?
Well, overall, like it's been pretty slow for like a lot of houses are just sitting on the market. However, houses that are priced correctly are selling quickly. That's in pretty much almost any market. If you price correctly,
it's gonna
like
go.
you will get
So you
offers.
see the people, you see a demand.
Yes, the biggest hesitation I still have with buyers who are kind of waiting around the fence is still mortgage rates. I know we saw a little dip, and in our market update, was that last week we had it? Yeah. Travis was saying it was like the lowest since December. So that I think we might pick up some action. We usually do when we see like mortgage rates drop and all that. But the mortgage rates are still a challenging thing for people. Affordability is a challenging thing for people. But yeah, and a lot of buyers I think, or sellers I think are having a hard time coming to terms with pricing correctly. I know especially sellers who bought during the height of the market when it was crazy. We were all working a ton.
Yeah. When you look back, it's going to be 2022.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I have some sellers that bought during that time, and they have very tight margins, to really kind of break even, and so they're hesitating to price correctly for this market, which is always, it's hard. So, we do see price reductions when that happens, but
and I'll get your opinion on this one too, because we're dealing with a pricing situation too. That just because you need the money doesn't mean your house is worth that. So, how do you deal with are you seeing also like people are sellers are hanging on, waiting for. They won't drop the price. They're just hanging on, hoping the market's going to get better or wait for the right buyer to show up. I mean, what are you seeing out there?
I'm feeling very lucky right now because I feel like both my buyers and my sellers are very easy to work with.
Okay, realistic.
I was just thinking because I'm having a bunch of fires go off, but then when I'm talking to my clients, they're just like, okay, and I am thinking, thank you. So yeah, I'm feeling very lucky about that right now. But when they're calling,
so when they're calling, so are you getting? Are you seeing more people calling, trying to get ready for the buy?
It's picking up a lot.
Okay, a lot. Yeah,
I think and we're also getting a lot more listings, and I think we just got about 5 new ones in the past month. So and so that's picking up a lot. I think they're getting used to the interest rates. It's still kind of
it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but the people that are wanting to buy are just jumping in. Mm-hmm. So I think that's part of why people are being accepting what's the bad news that they're getting, or if there's a fire that comes up, something like that. Like we had one today, the insurance thing that I was just talking about. We found out that the insurance company didn't want to give the insurance because of an unpermitted addition. It was just a little lanai that the guy added. Well, it wasn't a little one. It was a pretty big one. But so in Lava Zone 2, if you have unpermitted structures, a lot of times the insurance won't cover it. And
there's a lot of those.
Yeah, just so you guys know, because there are people who call and say, I'm going to get one of those cheap little houses someplace sells. And we say there's a lot of parts that aren't permitted, and they don't understand what the ramifications of that are. Mm-hmm. So the fact is that you can't get insurance sometimes when you have unpermitted pieces, or the entire house is unpermitted.
Yeah, if the entire house is unpermitted, you can't get a loan. But
just so you know that. Okay.
Yeah, and they're everywhere in Lava Zone 2 and 1. And so, but this was just a lanai. And a lanai is a porch.
Yeah, that's how you know. There you go.
It's sort of like this. And so it was just the lanai that is unpermitted. Everything else is permitted, but the insurance company is saying, no, we're not going to to cover you unless you get this. You promise to get it permitted with
Oh.
within X amount of time after closing. So,
How
Which is
realistic is that?
This is
so yes, I did make some phone calls today, and it is, even though it's a lanai, there's all these new requirements because of earthquakes and things. It's gonna be an interesting task, but my buyers are up for it, so
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I had somebody down here, a friend of mine, that they couldn't close it unless that they could promise that they were going to connect the sewer to the sewer lateral in the middle of a drive as a contingency, and they did it.
And is anyone following up on that?
Well, they had a hole in the front yard, and they were waiting for the people from the county to come and make sure that it was actually going to happen. I couldn't even imagine even asking that. But that way they wouldn't have to have a cesspool. They wanted to make sure they were hooked up to the sewer. So I'll ask Lance a little bit more about how that works in this world.
Well, I think what Nui's saying is like emphasizing too what I said. So I'm gonna look in the camera when I say this to everybody. It is becoming increasingly important for buyers that homeowners insurance becomes a major part of your due diligence.
Yes, yes. Call. Get those insurance policies, like saying that they are going to give it to you right before you think about closing escrow. And also with the permitting. A lot of people think, well, if it's not permitted, I'll just work with the county and have that handled. And that doesn't always happen, right?
no, because if it was something that was built years ago, now you have to bring it up to current code, and current code is
Like it could probably be done, but at what cost? At some point, it gets.
Yeah.
Well,
how much
but-
more? How much would that?
You
add to
open
the
a
house?
can of worms.
yeah.
Yeah, then they come over and they look at the rest of the.
They're
crap
like,
you
well,
have there.
actually, you got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, you have to do an as-built permit and get a drafts person, and there's so many steps, and bring it up to current code, which if you built this thing in 2000, the current code is very different, so it can be, you might as well just start over a lot of times
No.
in terms of cost of building,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't you think, Len?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too, that when we have people saying, I'm going to shortcut this now that I just bought this house, and they'll figure it out later. Don't do that, because if you just do it right the first time and get the permit, you're probably going to maintain the value of your property. Then this idea of saying, okay, well now a new buyer's coming in and saying, I can't get a loan, I can't get insurance on this thing, and then it has to keep going down further and further until someone reaches to the point where they have cash, right?
Yeah, you really cut down your buyer pool, and then you're putting all this money into a structure because you think you're saving time, and well, mostly people are just trying to not have a headache.
Of dealing with the permit process, right?
Yeah. And so, but then you put all this money into a structure, and then you can't get your money back out because you have to sell it so inexpensively because somebody with cash has to purchase it and take on the risk of an unpermitted structure. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's very important to a buyer to have a fully permitted home, and there's a lot of valid reasons that should be important to a buyer, I always recommend, probably let's just look at a fully permitted home then, because they can't really predict the issues that will come up.
Right.
which is kind of difficult in Hawaii.
Very difficult
especially on
in
the
East Hawaii.
side. But Lava Zone 3 is a lot easier, and if you're in Lava Zone 1 and 2, you need to be really careful about that unpermitted area. But Lava Zone 3 is you probably
more
get
room.
insurance if most of the house is permitted.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you use local experts that know exactly what the permitting thing is and all of the rules and regulations around that in that space, right? Lance always tells us, what we do, we sell real estate. We also make sure that we have neighborhood experts that actually are the people that you talk to, not people like, let's say, from Maui, who are trying to sell houses in East Hawaii because they don't know all this stuff. So that's the reason why local experts rock.
And if I don't know, then I know who to call.
Yeah.
And
That's
sometimes
it, yeah.
I call Lance.
Okay, so you have a couple new statistics that we haven't done before on the show. So tell them what you're going to be doing.
Well, everybody always asks about where the buyers are coming from, and they're not from Hawaii, and so mahalo to Bree and Rhett for providing the stats.
And they're our favorite title company.
Yeah, a title guarantee. Thank you for filling that part in. That's an important detail. So it does. Well, so I totally cut her off. She didn't finish the Hilo part. Did you?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Oh,
That's all
okay.
you. I can talk more, but
I'm just going wild.
We do it all the time.
this is welcome Nui to the show where
Yeah,
we
this
just
is the show, go wild.
We go rogue. On
Yeah, I
here.
was gonna say, no,
This is
you rogue.
Go rogue.
It's the ADHD show. So,
Qualified. Okay. So I have here the top state by number of sales in Hawaii, and Hawaii is the top state for buyers. And last year, there were 2,357 Hawaii residents that purchased properties here.
Okay, that's good. Number one, you guys, that is not outside investors. That's people in Hawaii doing move-up buying or first-time home buying, right?
Yes.
So, there we go.
And then number two, you guys can already guess this. I don't even have to say
It says, damn Californians!
Yeah, California. I'll just go down the list real quick. Washington, Texas, Oregon, Alaska, Colorado. Florida is one. I'm like, how are there 48 sales from Floridians and I didn't have one? Florida people.
Florida people call Nui. She has a license there too.
She knows your people.
Arizona, and then Nevada. Well, everybody's moving here to Nevada, so that makes some sense.
Yeah.
Got Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas.
It's not a bad
Oh, it's
for
a
it.
Vegas experience because that's almost like the Ninth Island. So
Yeah.
maybe they're coming home. Be good.
Yeah, it would be good. But
And then you were gonna do. And then you were gonna do this one.
Oh, thank you. I'll get it right
Yep. We're gonna.
someday.
No, we know.
Okay, so the other thing is the top neighborhoods. The amount of sales were.
So
Let
you
me
can. Yeah.
re-say that.
Okay.
The top
The top neighborhoods that people are choosing to live in. So we're giving this one because sometimes you might think, well, where is everybody else moving to?
Yes, thank
what's,
you.
What's a popular neighborhood? It might be because of location, price, or whatever. So
My
this
tongue
is really
didn't wanna.
that's okay, and this will give people an opportunity to kind of see. It might be interesting to look at the ones that people are moving to because there might be a reason why they're moving there.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
And I think this is all price based, really, because the top neighborhoods on Hawaii Island are all on the east side or Hawaiian Ocean View, which is more south. But HPP Hawaiian Paradise Park had 32 sales last month, and then Hawaiian Ocean View Estates was second.
Okay, because I have a feeling that means
23.
ranchos or something.
Oh, okay. And then the rest of them are all in the Puna area. Ainaloa is a really good neighborhood to check out because if you're looking in the 300,000 to 400,000 range, because it's still Lava Zone 3, which means the insurance is going to be more friendly, for lack of better terms, and the permitting issue is still there. It's always there, but less so than in Lava Zone 1 and 2. So Ainaloa is a really good option if you're looking in that 300,000, 400,000 range. Then Hawaiian Acres is next. That's really nice if you want large acreage. It's usually 3 acres out there.
And is that Lava Zone 2 or 3?
3 also.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a pro or con. Some people find it a pro and some people find it a con, but the roads aren't the best in Hawaiian Acres, and some people love that because they feel like nobody's going to bother them out there, and some people really hate that. Well, like me, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I lost my hubcap in Hawaiian Acres one day. I went home and I said, oh my gosh. And so it can get really bad, especially when it's raining a lot. And then Leilani Estates is next. That's where the lava flowed in 2018. That's the neighborhood that a lava flow started in. And those are 1 acre parcels, but it is in Lava Zone 1. I love Leilani.
People say that.
So
They come on the show and they love
beautiful.
it. But
it's so pretty, but yeah. It's
But the backyard is a cinder cone. So,
and literally some places are still smoking. Steaming. I guess.
But if you look this way, it's beautiful. Just don't look this way.
It's so pretty. But it's also very affordable. And then Hawaiian Shores Rec is next, and that one is in Lava Zone 2. That's next to Hawaiian Beaches. That's a really nice neighborhood because they do have CCNRs, and so some parts of Hawaiian Beaches do not have CCNRs, so you can see the difference in like how people, like restrictions and things, how people take care of their properties. And there's actually a literal line in the road that says you're crossing over into this neighborhood, and you can see where this is mowed and this is not mowed.
Right.
So
in fact, we should do a whole video on the pros and cons of CC&Rs and HOAs, because what it does for keeping neighborhood integrity. But then some people go, I don't want people telling me what to do, screw it. And then you end up with the Wild West experience over on that side.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But like, I think a lot of people too are so used to the mainland restrictions,
Which
and-
are so like our CCNRs are like nothing compared to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And then Foreign Forest Vacation Estates, I really like that neighborhood. It's usually 3 acres as well. I like that neighborhood. The roads are unpaved for the most part, but they're taken care of pretty, I think, in comparison to Hawaiian Acres. You won't lose your hubcap. And then Tiki Gardens and HOVR. So you're thinking that's
I think it means ranchos.
Okay.
Because when we do our updates with
Yeah,
Andy,
yeah.
he
Yeah.
talks about Hawaiian Ocean View Estates and then Hawaiian Ranchos, which
Yes,
is like
yes.
2 separate neighborhoods in the same area.
Yeah.
Okay.
So good. Okay, so people can kind of get, and then also they're learning a little bit more about some of these different neighborhoods that they can check out. So
Yeah.
I think that should be on a T-shirt. I lost my
Hubcap.
in
The
Hawaiian
hubcap's
Acres.
gone.
And they could sell it over on the east side of the island. I think it's very relatable.
It's like that. You know you're from Hawaii when.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to. Okay, since Lance is here, if you guys want to stay over here in the Facebook land, for Lance is going to be doing the West Hawaii update next, and people over in YouTube land, you guys can like jump over and find out what's going on in West Hawaii. But I wanted to wrap it up because he is sitting here with his beers, and
He's probably like 4 deep by now, waiting for
so
us.
now that Amber is going towards the luxury division of 365 Hawaii, maybe we'll share champagne with our.
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be fun?
If
And
anyone
then-
wants to sponsor
yeah,
us.
and I don't
Can
know.
I be there for the show?
Yeah, so Nui will have to pick up what the signature drink will be of the East Hawaii update now, that we're doing the thing. But if you guys want specifically information about East Hawaii and you have questions, please drop them in the description. I will give them to Nui, and we can actually answer some of these questions live next time we do this update. And that way, people are learning from one another, and you'll get information. And if it's something about the fact that you just want to get a hold of her, I'll drop that information in the description as well. That way they can reach out to you. And I'm so excited that you're joining us. I think you did a great job today. Thank you.
Thanks
And,
for keeping me on track. I was
there
like,
we go.
What am I supposed to be talking about again? I don't remember, so thank you.
And the good news is, here comes Lance. He's going to make sure that everybody gets an aloha.
Wait, are we
ale.
going to take a cheers?
A cheers? Okay, here we go. We're going to do this on air. Here we go. And we always have to make sure that. Are you going to put your little thing in here too? Here we go. We're gonna.
And
Okay.
just to pump the tires over here a little bit, like, I think everybody's so lucky to have Nui. Like, she's got so much experience and knowledge to share, and
Yes.
so
We
excited.
love this woman. It's good to
Yay.
have.
And having
Well,
leadership
it's
is an
great.
amazing experience
Cheers.
because it's not just selling real estate, it's a lifestyle and keeping track of what's going on in our community. We'll see you guys next month. Don't forget we sell real estate, and also join the Ohana at 365hawaii.com. And if you're looking for specifically how to get some real estate in your life, you can go to our new channel, 365hawaiire.com. You can find out your house valuation and you can look for real estate, and then you can contact us and we can put you anywhere in our referral network. Aloha!
Aloha!